time to. You can't actually see me sign any books, so. But I will sign. I forgot how to do my fucking. There we go.
Right, you are live, mate. Thank you very much. There's a load more books to go out. Right.
That's all right.
Well, aware.
There's nobody watching yet, so I'll carry on signing some books. Guys, don't forget, if you want a signed copy of our book, it is available on our website. I'm losing track of which one I signed. Oh, there we go. Charlotte Lamb. Hello, how are we? Welcome. The sun has come out. Hopefully it's sunny where you guys are. Just literally signing some books while we wait for people to come and join us. Would you recommend a pet corrector? Would I recommend a pet corrector? Yes and no. It all depends what you want to use it for. So pet correctors can be used one of two ways. Here's one I prepared earlier. It's just a can of compressed air, completely harmless, makes you jump every time. You know it's coming, right? You know the pet corrector's coming, but it still makes you jump every fucking time. Anyway, pet correctors can be used to interrupt unwanted behavior, such as jumping up, mild reactivity, things like that. It's not something I use a lot. If I'm honest, it's not something I use a lot for that. I actually like pet correctors as a dog deterrent in a sense. So you can teach your dog that the sound of this means food's coming. Spray, treat, spray, treat, spray, treat. So you can teach the dog when it hears that sound, it's going to get food. And then if you've got a dog that doesn't like unwanted dogs running into personal space, you can use that to deter the off-lead dog. They're not the end of the world. It's just compressed air. Some dogs, they work with nicely. Some dogs, they just don't give two fucking fucks about it. Charlotte's very well. I love that. How are you? I'm great. I'm great. Just trying to focus on doing more lives for you guys, particularly on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have just joined us and you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. It helps us to help more people. We are on a mission to get to 100k subscribers. We're about 26,000 subscribers away. We are there. Come on, help us. And also, give us a thumbs up. Big thumbs up. Helps us massively. Puppy bites, draw blood and bruises hands and arm. Joanna, puppies bite. That's what they do. Now, puppies will bite when they're overstimulated and puppies will bite when they are overtired. So you'll have a nice, cute puppy. It's been awake half hour, 45 minutes, and it's just getting a bit tired, or you're doing too much of it, then it turns into that walking little land shark, right? It's because it's not having enough nap time. So what we do with puppies is create a puppy schedule. Puppy wakes up from a nap in the crate. That's where puppies should be napping. Attach the puppy lead to it, straight in the garden, wait for that puppy to go to the toilet. Then what you do is you go into a training session and you provide something for the puppy to bite during this training session. Nice little tug toy. You can teach leave it. You can play fetch with that tug toy. You can do some impulse control, working on sits, downs, things like that. Tiring that energy out in a productive sense, providing an outlet for them to bite. Then you want to help the puppy calm down so it doesn't get overstimulated and turn into a land shark. This is where chews and bones and kongs come into play. To give it something to bite down on, crunch down on, help with that teething, help it calm down, help it decompress. Then it's nap time. Sleeps for an hour or so, wakes up, you repeat this all over again. Our book that I was just signing at the start is available on Amazon. It's available on our website if you want a signed copy, but literally covers puppy biting and everything you need to know to raise the perfect puppy. And again, there's 45 of you watching right now, guys, but only 12 thumbs up. What the fuck is going on? There's more questions than thumbs up. Now, the questions I'm answering are 100% free. I don't think it's an unreasonable ask to ask you to give a thumbs up, particularly if you're asking a question. Thumbs up for a question seems like a nice little fair trade. What do you know about service dogs? We need them. They do amazing jobs. We don't train dogs specifically to be service dogs, okay? The dogs we train are not primarily suited to being a service dog. The dogs we work with primarily have behavioural issues. They're not in the right mindset or balance enough to be service dogs. We don't train dogs to be service dogs. That's a specialist field. So generally people that train service dogs, certified service dogs in a sense, they will stick to just that. They have hand-picked puppies to go and do that. We deal with more behaviour modification. Where are we? Thank you for the reply. My Airedale was awesome. Thanks to you guys. What do you think about Airedales? The king of the terriers. I fucking love Airedales. I really, really like the Airedale Terrier. It's a breed of dog that I would quite happily own. They're not my favourite terrier. If I'm being honest, I prefer the smaller terriers. So I prefer the border terrier. That's my favourite terrier. But if the dog come up, if the right opportunity was there, I'd bring an Airedale into my family because I love terriers. I love the attitude, that feistiness, that energy level, that intelligence, that loyalty, that work drive, that prey. Everything about terriers is so fun to work with. So, yeah, but they're not for the faint-hearted. I mean, if you think like a small terrier could be bad, an Airedale's much bigger, nicknamed King of the Terriers. Not because they're the biggest, but because they're the largest canines of all the terrier breeds. Fun fact for you. Hey, Adam, how's best to deal with an off-lead dog running over to your reactive dog? First of all, Chloe, make sure you're not in a position where this is going to happen. So avoid going to busy populated areas where there's lots of off-lead dogs because you're not ready for that situation, neither is your dog, and every time I had experience. As I just mentioned at the start of this, great deterrent, right? So if you put it back, spray it, give your dog a treat. Spray it, give your dog a treat. Spray it, give your dog a treat. The sound of this means food's coming. So this can create a feel-good response to your dog. You can use that to deter other dogs running over to your dog. The other thing that you can do that's quite handy is just have a handful of treats in your pocket. When a dog comes running over to your dog, throw those treats far away over that dog's head. Often, then the dog will go and clear up those treats, create space, gives you time to get out of there. The other thing is make sure your dog is behind you, and no matter what, at any cost, that does not actually get to your dog. That way your dog can see you advocating for your dog. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, do give us a thumbs up. 71 people watching, 31 thumbs up. That's not even half the amount of thumbs up. There's more questions than thumbs up, which means there are people asking questions that haven't actually given us a thumbs up. That just doesn't seem right. Thumbs up, questions, let's go. This morning, my dog, German Shepherd, jumped on me non-stop, grabbing onto my arms and bites my ankles. Well, you did get a German Shepherd that needs lots of exercise and mental enrichment, and it sounds like that wasn't happening. Sounds like you have a frustrated German Shepherd. What you need to do is when you wake up, take your German Shepherd for a walk because that's what you signed up for when you got a German Shepherd. Take your German Shepherd out for a walk. If it is older than 2 years old, fully grown, it should be going out for at least 1 hour in the morning. You took on a German Shepherd, the third most intelligent breed of dog. Very, very active. Get that energy out of your dog. Then after that, teach your dog an off switch. After exercise, crate. After exercise, crate. You don't have to do this forever, but what your dog will learn is after exercise, there's an off switch. Once your dog's learned that, and it takes about a week or so for your dog to get used to that new routine, exercise crate, then very quickly your dog learns after exercise and naturally settle down. You can start to invite the dog back on the sofa. You can start to have your dog on a dog bed, but do it this way, it's much easier. Sounds like your German Shepherd's frustrated, it's not getting enough exercise. And if it is still a puppy, for example, okay, just making sure, yeah, if it is still a puppy, then channel that energy in another productive sense. Watch this live back at the start because I covered puppy biting at the start. My window issue with my GSD isn't, there's a lot of fucking German Shepherds in this live today. My window issue is with my GSD isn't persistent. I've been following. I don't understand what you've just said there. My window issue with my. I don't understand the question, Louise. Where are we, ladies and gentlemen? My Shar-Pei Cross Staffy is nearly 2 years old. Fairly well behaved, but her recall is not 100%. Any games that might be best for her recall? Okay, long lead for a start. So the reason dogs have shit recalls is one, because your foundations aren't in place. Okay. Two, you give the dog too much freedom, and you allow. And you put that dog in a situation where it can ignore you. Okay. That dog, whenever I call that dog, I always make sure that I can get that dog to come back to me, whether I'm inside or whether I'm outside. And we do this by the use of leads. We use normal leads when we're walking our dog, slightly longer lead for when we're over a field. Inside, we use indoor leads. And I'll make sure I have hold of that lead before I call my dog, because that way, if the dog does it first time, I can reward the dog. If the dog doesn't do it, I can make it happen so the dog learns there's no negotiations, okay? I'm consistent when there's nothing going on. I'll make sure that the dog understands sit means sit, down means down. Anything I ask the dog to do, I ask it once. If it doesn't do it, I then make it happen. No negotiations. Okay, so I'm consistent there. And I look for what motivates the dog. Shar-Peis, you might find a bit of tug of war. They like to bite and shake things, so tug of war could be something that you can bring to the party. If your dog has low food drive, hand feed your dog. Take your dog's daily food, allow them to stick it in a treat pouch, stop feeding your dog from a bowl, and you can use that to reward them going forward. Every time, that way you're always in a position to reward them. Hand feeding is game-changing. Where are we? Hi there, I've got a 2-year-old Malinois bitch, well trained and very well socialised with dogs and people, very friendly. How do I revert back to and train her not to be friendly with dogs and people? Stop letting her interact with dogs and people and doing more with your dog in that aspect, Tango. So if you want her not to be so over-friendly, stop letting her say hello to everybody. She says, can I say hello to your dog? Say no. If you go somewhere like an Asda's car park or a Tesco car park, something like that, and have fun with your dog, teach your dog there's people, but you are way more exciting than people. Hi, are you planning to add more pack walks? Yes, we will. Not entirely certain when. Just make sure that you're paying attention to the services section of the website. But yes, they will be coming very, very soon. There's just a lot on at the minute. Doesn't e-collar hurt dogs? Hurt, not really. Unpleasant, yes, it can be. But it all depends, right? So the reality is, e-collars are a training tool. Pet correctors are a training tool. Extendable leads are a training tool. Halties are a training tool. Harnesses are a training tool, right? And like any training tool, there's good versions and there's bad versions. Now, the e-collar can be used on levels so fucking low that the average human wouldn't even be able to feel it. So that causes absolutely no pain or discomfort whatsoever. There's a difference between a 20 quid e-collar and like a £200 e-collar. The e-collars that a lot of people use are more like a TENS machine and muscle stimulant, so it contracts the muscle. So the higher up on the end of the scale, yes, it can become unpleasant. Yes, it can create discomfort. But so can a dog being yanked on a normal collar. So can a dog pulling and choking because you don't teach it how to stop pulling. It's a training tool. Yeah. I think e-collar is abusive to dogs. I would hazard a guess that you don't really know anything about dogs, though, because one, you had to ask, which means you don't understand. And here's the problem, right? So I'm not here to try to convince people whether e-collars are right or wrong. I'm here to actually explain something on how people see things. So if you have to ask, does an e-collar hurt a dog? You don't understand e-collars. And if you don't understand something, how can you judge something? Yeah. That's where we go wrong. We don't have any information about the tool. We've never used the tool, never experienced the tool, nothing. Yet we turn around and say, I don't like that. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It's like not spending any time with a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, only reading stories you hear in the newspaper and go, Staffies are dangerous. That's bullshit. You don't actually understand the breed. You've never spent time with them. You only believe in what you read in the newspaper. People like that are just fucking absolute sheep. You absolutely have no fucking merit. You can't stand on your own 2 feet. You can't make your own fucking decisions. You literally just go with the flock. No breed is dangerous. It's the owners. Thank you. Is it okay to use an e-collar on the shower? Because I want to suggest one for my friend. Right, you can, but I wouldn't suggest one. I would not be suggesting a tool like an e-collar without thorough understanding. It's not something that you should just be able to order online. This is the problem. It's a tool that's too readily accessible. Yeah, you should actually need to be shown by a professional, because like any tool, and I've seen so many tools misused. I've seen dogs come to us with marks all across their nose, around their ears, where they pulled so much on a halter. I've seen dogs with like almost permanent scarring around their shoulders where they pull so much on a harness, right? I've seen injuries caused by flexi leads, extender leads, right? The reality is, if you don't know how to apply that tool, you're going to cause a lot more damage than fucking good. So no, I would not recommend it to a friend unless your friend is going to work with somebody that understands what low-level e-collar conditioning is. That month-old boxer dog will not get the message not to chase our cat. Any other tips apart from leaving the house? Already doing that, but still gets mad every single time. Try pet corrector just to interrupt it. All you want to do is just break that focus and everything. But do more. Have your dog in the crate when the cat's roaming around and things like that. Make sure your dog's getting plenty of exercise. Also, work on the art of doing nothing, okay? So have your dog in the sit, stay down, say, use some of its food and things like that. Something like a pet corrector in that area can just take the aspect of. Can a nosebleed be related to pulling on the lead? Yes, it can. You got to look, right? So when a dog's pulling, right, all that pressure is going on their throat, and it can restrict the fucking airflow. It can restrict the blood flow. It can cause eye damage. It can cause nose damage. The reality is, this is where we go wrong in the dog training world, right? Because everybody wants to go prong collars are bad, e-collars are bad, right? And 99% of people that say this either have their own agenda, they support an organisation that medicates dogs and euthanises dogs in the name of dog training instead of saying no, or they've never used it, like Inkleberry Tinder game, 70 fucking whatever his fucking fuckface is, right? Never fucking used it. And the reality is, we just jump to those conclusions. Yet I see dogs on a daily basis dragging their owners down the fucking street, tongue fucking hanging out the side of their mouth, but because they're using a normal collar and a lead, it's absolutely acceptable. I've seen dogs coming home like fucking squaring on their paws where they pulled so much on a harness. Yeah, they're not choking, but they're injuring themselves. But that's fine, because it's not an e-collar or a prong collar. So our misconception is we don't actually look at what's actually abuse anymore. We actually just focus on tools and associate that with abuse. Plus, how many fucking fat dogs are in the world, ladies and gentlemen? How many fucking fat dogs are around? You can go to a park and over 75% of the dogs you see in a park will be fat. Go to a park today and count how many obese dogs you see. That is abuse. Yet, it's love. Yeah, there's not enough fucking educating right now. Which is better to use, a harness or a traditional collar? Depends what you're trying to achieve. So I primarily would only use a harness if I wanted the dog to be out in front, tracking, pulling, things like that. So because I don't want the dog pulling and it being uncomfortable. Yeah. But if I'm teaching a dog to walk nicely, I'm more likely to opt for a collar than a harness. You can teach a dog to walk nicely on a harness, but you're using a tool designed for them to be out in front, tracking and pulling comfortably, and you're trying to get them to stop pulling when it's a tool designed for them to pull more. It gets a bit fucking complicated, ladies and gents. If I had something like, say, a French bulldog that needed an operation to help it breathe, I might consider a harness. If I had a Chihuahua with soft palate, I might consider a harness. It all depends on that dog that's in front of me. Primarily, a normal collar and a lead to get you going. Where are we? Hi, Adam, help and resource guarding. Stolen irons, 10-month-old Labradoodle. Consider a knee collar and looking to go to a local behaviourist, canine collar, who you follow. Thoughts? Connor's a good guy. Yeah. If you're close to canine collar, go and use him. He'll definitely be able to help you. E-collars are a great tool for resource guarding if it's used correctly. It's the safest, most non-confrontational way of doing it because you don't have to put your hands in there or physically try to remove the dog from a situation. They're used for things like rattlesnake aversion and things like that. You just need to make sure that they know what they're doing. And as far as I believe, Canine Connor does know what he's doing in that department. So, yeah. Where are we? Can a very friendly Malinois do personal protection? Absolutely. Because the reality is, in personal protection training, right? Now, I don't do personal protection training. I'm not against it by any means. It's just not my sport, okay? The dogs that are doing it, they're not going after a person because they don't like that person or because they're fearful of that person. Of these personal protection trained dogs are fucking friendly. They go home and live with family. They're absolutely safe. They just know how to turn it on when they're given a certain command because they're trained to do it. Now, it's not about whether or not your dog is friendly. It's about whether or not your dog has what it takes to do this, okay? Because not every dog, not every Belgian Malinois can do personal protection training. Not every German Shepherd can do it. Not every Rottweiler can do it. Just because they wear their outfit, they might not have the right temperament. They might be too nervy. So you can still be friendly but nervy. And nervy dogs aren't good candidates to do it. But go to somewhere like Unleashed Canine in Liverpool. He doesn't like me. I don't really give a fuck. But he's good at personal protection training. So go and fucking see him. Where are we? Slip leads keep sliding down. That's because you're giving the dog too much lead. Okay. So with a slip lead, here we go. Here's what I prepared earlier, guys. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, do slap a thumbs up. The thumbs up help us to help more people. So Why would the slip lead slide down? The slip lead slides down if the dog's got too much lead. I don't really know what's happened to my slip lead right here. It's got a bit fucking skew with. Bear with me. Just got to get it in. There we go. We're in. Right. So here's a slip lead. What has happened to this slip lead? It's got really fucking skew with. Anyway, there we go. So the dog needs to be by your side like this, and I want a short but relaxed lead. So as soon as the dog starts to pull in front, I pull up. Notice if I pull up in that straight line, it doesn't go backwards. But if the dog has too much lead and can go too far in front, look what happens when I pull up. See, it starts to go back. And if I'm pulling back on the lead or the dog's got too much lead, it will start to slide down. So chances are when you're walking your dog, the dog's got too much lead, it can go in front of you. So by the time you pull up, you're ending up actually pulling back more than pulling up. Short but relaxed lead, arm by your side, pull up. Make sure this is tight at the top of the dog's head, almost like in a dog show, clasp all the way down. Literally on my website, Lead Walking 101 tutorial breaks it down step by step how to help you. What muzzle would you recommend? I've border collie would rather use a muzzle than her potentially being a bite risk. Karen Hatton, I will take my hat to you. Thank you so much. Right. I wish more people were like Karen. Right. Now, here's why. If you have a dog that has made attempts to bite, lunges at a person, from not because he wants to say hello, but lunging in a reactive, aggressive manner towards somebody, has made attempts to bite or will bite if somebody touches them, whether or not they have asked you, if your dog is a bite risk and you are taking it out and it is not muzzled, you are putting your dog's life in danger, right? Somebody asked me this question the other day. I'll get to you in a second, Karen. Somebody asked me this question the other day. If I'm out with my dog, right, and somebody touches my dog without me asking them, right, and my dog bites them, who's at fault? Now, the reality is a person touching your dog without your permission, it's their fault if they get bit. But in the eyes of the law, it doesn't matter. In the eyes of the law, your dog bit a person and your dog will be the one that has been held responsible. Charlotte asked it. I asked the question. Well done, Charlotte. 2 days in a row as well. So if your dog was to bite someone, in the eyes of the law, your dog will always get the blame. It is that fucking simple, whether or not that person was at fault or not. So if you know your dog is a known bite risk or will bite, the muzzle is there to protect your dog. Okay. Now, the muzzle doesn't fix the training. The muzzle we recommend is a Jafco, 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 or a nice solid Baskerville muzzle. Okay, well fitted. The dog needs to be able to open its mouth in that muzzle. The dog needs to be able to drink, and you should be able to easily get some treats into that muzzle. Okay, those cloth muzzles, they are just for short-term use, like for trips to the vets. Yeah, they are not for walking your dog or for your dog exercising in, because the dog can't open its mouth, it can't breathe properly. Those cloth muzzles are literally for very, very short period of time, say at the vet. What you want for a dog that's going out exercising, it's going to be wearing a muzzle for a long period of time, you want a Baskerville or a Jafco muzzle. Okay. Now, the reality is that alone doesn't stop the problem. That just prevents your dog from biting. You do have to go and do some training with your dog to change its emotional response to things that make it uncomfortable. Tidier, Tidder Gamer. Oh, this is the one that thinks e-collars are abusive. Why is there so many pit bull attacks? The reason there's so many pit bull attacks, mate, is because the media exploits them, but also most of them aren't fucking pit bulls, right? They're not. So we see the same thing in England, right? If there's a bully breed attack, it's always a staffy attack, staffy bulls. In America, it's always any block-shaped muscular dog is classed as a pit bull in America. When in reality, there's only one true fucking pit bull, and that's the American Pit Bull Terrier. Now, if you were to actually go and get every single one of these pit bulls that attacked somebody, that maimed somebody, that killed somebody, and actually DNA tested them, I guarantee a very small percentage, if any, would actually be American Pit Bull Terriers. And it's the same in England. Staffy Cross, Staffy Malls. I guarantee you, if you went and actually DNA tested that dog, it was some Staffy mix or a bully breed mutt not actually a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. But that doesn't, dog that looks like Staffy, dog that looks like Pitbull doesn't sell stories. So it's how media, I watched a documentary on it as well, and if you use certain words together enough, it starts to create an emotional response. And people that believe everything they read in the fucking newspaper because they're a fucking sheep and can't stand on their own 2 fucking feet will eat it up and fucking believe it. Do you have a link to on your app site for a muzzle? Possibly, Charlotte, possibly. I need help. I'm trying to help my 3 mini schnauzers with their separation anxiety. I've been trying to step out of the house and let them bark. Once I hear they stop, come back inside. Yes, but that's not you're going to be doing that for the rest of their life. That's not what you do. What you do is teach the dogs it's okay to spend short periods of time by itself. Okay. So what you want to do is exercise them properly. They're miniature schnauzers. They've got small legs, but they can go out for fucking hours. These dogs can. They are natural born hunters. Make sure they're being exercised sufficiently. After exercise, stick them in the crate so they learn to spend short periods of time by themselves. 1, 2, 3. Different crates, right? Not in the same crate. They need their own individual crates, their own individual bed crate. Then crack on with the day, right? Leave them in there for a couple of hours. What this is going to do, one is going to teach them to calm down and switch off after exercise. It's also going to teach them to stop following you room to room, thus reinforcing the need to know where you are constantly. And you're also teaching them to spend short periods of time by themselves. When it comes time to leaving, again, take your dog for a walk, stick him in a crate. If you've got to go to the shop, just pop to the fucking shop, come back. If you've got to go out for dinner, go out for dinner, come back. Don't leave them for like fucking 8 to 10 hours straight away. But if you've got to pop somewhere for very shortly, do that. Don't start doing this 1 minute, come back, 2 minutes, come back, 3 minutes, come back. It's not realistic. It's not practical. You're going to be there until the dogs are fucking dead practicing this. Crate train the dog, teach them to spend short periods of time by themselves. Make sure they're getting enough exercise. Make sure they're getting enough switch. If you've got to go, got to go. Remove all the emotion from this and you'll see a massive difference. Amen to that. Thank you, Rebecca. Any tips for teaching a Great Dane puppy to downstay? Yes, get down on its level. Right, so pop it in a down. Handful of treats down on it. So as soon as that pup's gone into a down, right, what you want to do, handful of treats to keep it there. As soon as it's finished that last one, break and throw the treat away from you to bring it out of the down. Call it straight back to you, put it in a down, funnel some treats into that down to keep it there a little bit longer. As soon as the last one's gone, break. And what you do, you want to build that stay with you by the dog's side. Next thing you want to do is a down with you standing up and literally 1 step back, go back to your dog, put some treats down. 2 steps back, go back to your dog, put treats down. Stop using 1 bit at a time. Use a handful. It'll go a little bit longer. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to love you and leave you. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys as always. I will try to jump on here tomorrow and do another YouTube live. Right, here's the thing, guys. In about 20 minutes' time, I'm going to be doing another live on the Southend Dog Training VIP Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook, Southend Dog Training VIP group. Now, you do have to be a member to join that. How do you become a member to join that? You go to our website, southenddogtraining.co.uk. Okay, it's free to join for 7 days, and then it's $11.99 a month. Did you know it's actually cheaper to go and join our website than it is now to feed a family of 4 in McDonald's? Fucking mental. So go to our website, southenddogtraining.co.uk. Part of that website, you'll get breed reviews. You'll get breed reviews on Border Collies, on Border Terriers, on Dachshunds, French Bulldogs, Staffies, just to name a few. There's videos on lead walking, how to walk your dog. There's an 18-minute video on a lady that stopped walking her dog because it pulled so much. In 18 minutes, we show you how to take a dog lunging and pulling to walking absolutely like a fucking dream. Right? So there's that. There's videos on separation anxiety, videos on multi-dog household. There's videos on your foundational stuff that will help you regardless of issue. There's full-length videos from home visits that we've done, so with reactive dogs. And you can ask as many questions as you like, day or night, and you can get help. You can submit videos on the problems that you are having. All you have to do is go to southenddogtraining.co.uk right now, sign up, and then you can join the Facebook group where you'll see me live and you'll get to ask me some questions again in about 20 minutes' time. Go to the website right now, guys. Go to southenddogtraining.co.uk. Have fun.